Hello guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Subait and today we are in the alternate future of Europe. Yes, I don't know if this video is coming late or not, but I'm filming this on 25th of March 2022, okay? I'm filming this on that date. So as you might already have read the warning for this video, and if you haven't read the warning, go read it right now. Okay? So let's start. First, the Russian army will push into Ukraine, and they will capture half of it in a few months. They will push in until they capture Kiev. But then America sends out a missile planted in Turkey to destroy the Russian forces in Kiev. And Kiev is evacuated by the Russian forces. They push in until they end up in a stalemate. And then the Russian army goes once again at it. This time, America has no response. They capture Kiev, but Zelensky does not surrender. After Kiev, more and more and more. And Zelensky, fear of the people being hurt, Zelensky surrenders. And the Russian army has occupied Ukraine. So this is what they will do about Ukraine. I'm thinking at least. So first they will absorb this amount of territory from Ukraine and make the rest a Russian puppet state. So yes, moving on. Peace is quite well in Europe until a few years later. What happens? Sorry for the pause. But now things get a lot more worse in the Balkans. Now with tensions rising, Kosovo finally manages to declare its independence from Serbia. Kosovo fully declares its independence from Serbia. Serbia insists on Kosovo being a puppet state of Serbia, but Kosovo says no, as they want to be a legit and independent state. Later on, what happens after pretty much a few years, the Greeks are like we can't handle this anymore. Because of their economy, they have to pay so much debt that they're like, we'll just collapse. No country, we should just collapse right here. Well, they indeed leave the EU at first, and then they collapsed like this. All the land from the Greece state collapsed into nothingness. Turkey, okay, and some other powers in the Balkans decide to claim these lands, such as the Turkish moving into these parts of Greece. Yes. North Macedonia going into this part and also capturing this peak. Albania also goes to claim some land in Greece. They take this and this. They manage to make a big empire in the south with the land that fell from the Greek Empire, or just Greece, whatever. Then tensions rise between Kosovo and Serbia Serbia declares a full-scale invasion against Kosovo, which is not good for Kosovo since the Serbian army is very strong. This is not good news for Kosovo. Kosovo says absolutely nothing. The other powers in the Balkans also are like, nah, we ain't getting into this trouble. And Serbia pushes all its army through Kosovo, capturing half of it, and then Kosovo surrenders. Then Kosovo is directly absorbed by Serbia again. Only 11 years after Kosovo's independence, Serbia absorbs it once again. And then Albania wants to invade North Macedonia, which they first I don't think they will do, but later on in time, who knows. But for now, let's focus on something else. So, Spain wants to be its own independent state from the EU because they're tired of it for some reason. They're tired of it because they want to use their own economics right now, and they don't have the permission to use that in the EU, which I don't know exactly. But I think mostly Spain would leave the EU for one single reason. They want to be a own independent state is why they leave the EU. Germany agrees and Spain leaves the EU. Spain leaves the EU and everything is fine in Spain for now. Let's look at the British Islands. First, Britain invades Ireland. Britain is slowly invading the island of Ireland. Ireland, unknown about this, has no clue that British troops are literally hammering into their territory. The Irish have no chance, but they still manage to defend their territory and push back the British troops that have invaded. Almost all of the border around Northern Ireland, all of the surrounding areas have been captured. Then the coastline needs to be captured by British ships. They landing over here, which is undefended and is quickly catched by Irish troops. So is this part. While the battle is going on over here, Spain manages a alliance with the rest of the EU over here. Spain manages the alliance. Serbia also manages an alliance with Bosnia and Herzegovina, which is the full name. Norway has some rising tensions with the British invading Ireland, but soon the British kind of just go for it, and Ireland stands no chance. Humongous amount of Irish troops surrender to the British, and then finally, after 3 months of fighting, the Irish reign have ended. First, the British captured the entire island of Ireland as their own state. And for now, Ireland is pretty calm, and so are the British Isles. But how long will it be calm? Well, we don't know. Let's meet you guys after a few years. Guys, it has been 2 years after that war. It's currently 2025 right now. It's 2025, the year 2025. In this year, Poland leaves because they want to do their own glory. They want to focus on their own economy and to be self-sufficient and not rely on others. Because when they did rely on others, remember 1940 something, 1939? Well, they're not going to do that mistake again. So Poland becomes a full-on independent state as a Polish democracy. For now, Poland is calm. For now. Let's see what's going on in the British Isles since. Well, what do we have here? In the British Isles, the Scottish rebels have rised up for their own independence. The British, just exhausted from the war in Ireland, has no chance against the Scottish. The Scottish flood into northern Scotland and quickly manage to capture all of North Scotland. I'm not able to pronounce that right, sorry. They entirely push into North Scotland and capture all of it, like it's a piece of cake. because all of northern Scotland wants to be an independent state. Then it becomes a little hard in the southern part of Scotland because there are a lot of English people living there. Also, the army stops them pretty quickly as well. The army then pushes them back to where they entered the south from. Then they were pushed more and more and more. They pushed the English all the way back to their old border over here. They invade into Ireland as well. Exhausted from the British-Irish War, England surrenders. With England's surrender, they take the north part of the Irish island. They also return back to their old borders, heavily militarized. They also get these islands on top. And yes, the British Isles have now been split apart between Scotland and England. For now, the Scotland and the minister does not want to reach for the EU right away. They want to wait some time to see if their independence was really worthy into the European Union. That if they can survive on their own or if they will be needing the EU. Later on, what happens is, after many agreements to gain some money, Russia sells Kaliningrad to Poland in exchange for $5 million. Then they take $2 million from the Ukrainian puppet and decide that they want to annex Belarus next. First, the Belarus government thinks about it, and then they're like, whatever, just annex us. So that plan was completed as the Russia-Belarus plan, where the entirety of Belarus would be absorbed into Russia. Now it's becoming pretty hefty. The Balkans are looking like an absolute mess. And who knows what Serbia is planning next? Is Serbia planning to invade North Macedonia or Albania? Well, no, not pretty much like this. Next target of the Balkans is pretty small, low with population and low in army. Montenegro. And then the Albanian army pushes into Montenegro. Montenegro is pretty good at fighting, so they hold back the Albanian army. In exchange, Albania wants help from Bosnia-Herzegovina, which also invades. Bosnia-Herzegovina agrees and decides to invade Montenegro. Then Montenegro wants the Serbian army to push into Montenegro land to further capture Montenegro land and give them independence afterwards. Then Albania pushes into Montenegro fast as possible. The Serbian army also pushes fast. Albania then pushes and pushes. Bosnia, wanting some coast, pushes the rest, taking these parts of Montenegro. Then a peace treaty is signed between all of them. The peace treaty is signed between Serbia, Bosnia and Albania. That's how they will split Montenegro. And this is how they split it. First, the Serbian army decides to put Montenegro as an independent state. Bosnia absorbs these parts to finally have a coastline. And Albania seizes these parts And you might be wondering, Bosnia already has a coastline, but it does not have a port. But this coastline over here has a port. So yes, Bosnia does not need to rely on any other country for their shipment. Then Poland, worried about ever a Russian invasion of Poland, secures its military defenses and builds an alliance with Switzerland. Let's see what happens next. And then Catalonia declares its independence as a Spanish puppet state. Yes. Then another member leaves the EU as two parts. And then Italy leaves the EU as both parts, South Italy and North Italy. I don't know why, but North Italy insisted on taking the island of Corsica from France, and France in the EU is very mad about it. And North Italy becomes EU's and France's one of biggest enemies. But this isn't normal because France has not declared its independence yet. Maybe they will in a future episode. We don't know. But guys, I'm gonna be ending the video right here. The alternate future of Europe part 1 has ended. Meet you guys in alternate future of Europe part 2. I'm not really okay right now. I'm a bit stressed because I just drew all of this. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll meet you guys in another video. It could be another future of Europe one. So stay tuned. Bye. I hope you enjoyed this. I spent a lot of my time drawing. I spent a lot of my time drawing this with colors, Bye.